I'm going to call this Board of Health meeting to order at 5:31. This meeting is being recorded. If you could all stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right, first up is minutes for approval. Either one of you want to make a motion to accept the minutes? Were you here? You both were.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I will do it. I will make a motion to accept the minutes from the April 15th, 2025 meeting.
I second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes. All right. Old business, Earth Day recap. So we had Earth Day on, I think I would memorize it by now, April 19th. And I'd like to thank Damien for his generosity in donating the dumpster. Actually, he used the garbage truck to pick up all the trash. And this year we had such a great turnout, and the weather was perfect, and we had about 2,500 to 3,300 pounds of trash that was picked up. I know, right?
Good job.
It was really good. It was really good. So I was really excited about that. We had a raffle. We had 4 gift cards that were donated, and we had 4 winners. Actually, did she come pick hers up?
She did, so there's one more left.
All right, so there's one left. I believe it's one of our neighbors, so we'll reach out to him. Other than that, it was really a great day, so I'm looking forward to maybe more people next year. So, anything from either of you? Thanks for your help. Thanks for your help.
It was fun.
As much
Got
as
the
your kids
out.
didn't want to do it.
I got the boys out.
Yeah.
They did good picking up trash.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And Senator Marzi came, right? State Representative Marzi came. That was good too. All right, new business. So our new animal inspector, I don't think he got the memo. He didn't plan to stay, so we'll meet him at the next meeting. And blood drive. You wanted to talk about blood drive.
Yes, I would like to propose hosting a blood drive, I have notes out here, on June 24th, that's a Tuesday. The Rhode Island Blood Donation Center was very excited when I mentioned the idea to them. Normally, the Dudley Women's Club does 2 blood drives a year, and due to scheduling conflicts, they couldn't do one this time of the year, so they had their schedule open, and they had a day open. It would be self-contained in the mobile unit, like the van, what do you call it? Bus van,
yeah.
mobile unit, yeah.
Yeah.
And they would come and set up in the town hall, and they would set up at 11:30, and then the blood drive would actually be from 1 to 5 p.m., and then breakdown would be 6 to 6:30 p.m.
All
Any
right.
questions?
And so, what about? So they're going to bring all the staff for it.
They bring the staff, they bring the snacks for after you donate blood, they have whatever, if someone.
A holding
bangs,
station?
They have
Yeah.
everything contained in that unit themselves. They advertise, we're excited of thinking of different places where they would like to advertise, and I think it's a great area to have a blood drive.
So they're going to have it in this back parking lot here.
Yes.
All right. And so we just need to reach out to selectmen. They're okay. And the fire, the police chief. All right.
You might want to include the fire chief in that as well.
Mhm.
Because if they need EMS services, they might want to have a little extra available somewhere along the line.
I won't be able to come and help because of the time.
That's it, but they actually are pretty self-sufficient. I mean,
Okay.
maybe the thing I'll be doing is just like helping them register people, like sign people, like who come in and stuff.
Yeah.
But they
Okay.
basically run it all themselves.
Yeah, because I'm going to be away that week. I'm taking the kids to California, so I'll be gone.
All right. So you need us to make a motion to vote on the date.
Yes.
All right. So I'll make a motion to host the blood drive on June 24th, set up as 11:30, and it'll be from 1 to 5 here at the bottom lot, and you're gonna confirm with fire chief, police chief, and selectmen.
Yes.
All right,
I second it.
all right, motion is second, all in favor, oh, Tom, do you have any questions? No, all in favor?
In favor.
Aye. All right,
Thank you.
yep. Then you just email us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pet Fest, you're up, girl.
Like to get something started, just don't really know kind of when or kind of where. I've never done anything like this, but just want to get something out for like the kids and families to come out, all kind of pet related. We can do like teach basic CPR, just basic first aid for animal people. Can kind of teach them what you should have in your home, you know, CPR kit type of deal. If we can get different raffles, you know, if we can get even food trucks or something like that, just make it all like pet related. Have different tables of like things for the kids to do, or just basic information on basic pet care for owners, what they need to know in like this area and stuff. So, yep.
Just a question on that. Has the local EMS been involved with first aid yet?
Not for pets that I am
Okay.
aware of. I don't even
It's
know
a
if
growing trend.
they have, yeah, because I actually was wondering if they had like the oxygen masks for animals.
My son's a fire chief out in Westboro, and they were already, they've gone through instruction on CPR for pets and all.
Yeah.
I don't know which classification of pets they do have. I would expect to be the typical domestic cats and dogs.
Yeah. So that's-
But it's a growing trend in EMS as well. So you might want to check with the fire chief to see if he wants to provide or have any of his subordinates assist or even give a demo on how to do CPR on a dog, or if they're certified.
Yeah, because I mean, I can teach that.
Yeah.
I'm not-
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, maybe something you can just work with them directly.
Yeah, to see
some
if they
point.
wanna. Yeah, it'd be nice just for owners to, you know, have a basic idea of how to do it, and then just basic, you know, first aid stuff to have at the house, like a little kit for animals.
Right.
Do that.
They do have, I know that Westboro does have a kit for animals, so, for CPR for animals.
Yeah, just try to make it more, you know, like a family
Yeah.
fun day type of deal.
Right.
I just don't, I've never done anything like this, so I don't know where to even
Yeah,
begin.
well, I'm thinking, so, you know, depending on the date, you know, we're already through May, and we're
Yeah.
obviously not gonna make it for June,
No.
right? So, after July, we will probably be breaking ground for the playground, so I don't know what this parking lot's going to look like.
Yeah.
So we could reach out to Nichols. I have a contact up there. We did our bike rodeo, one of our bike rodeos up there. So in the parking lot, you know, there's an area that people can park on this side, and there's a whole lot on the left. So, you know, I could reach out to her and find out if that's something. We just kind of have to set a date, because I
Yeah.
don't know when the kids come back,
That's
if
the
they have a homecoming and all those
Yeah.
welcome days, so.
That's the only issue. Even like, I'd rather do it more in the fall than
Okay.
even summer, because
Yeah.
summer kind of scares me if people start bringing their animals out that some dogs
It's too
should not
hot,
be out in
yeah.
the summer.
I mean, even if you wanted to just
Yeah.
start small with, you know, just
Yeah.
the CPR and.
We could, yeah, we could do something like
And
that.
then work our way up.
Yeah, we could definitely do something like that.
The
just
fall
start
wouldn't be a
small.
bad idea, because we don't have a whole lot going on in the fall.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, so I was kind of thinking more beginning of the fall, and that way we'd get some stuff together and basics, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Little
some
things that's-
flyers.
Yeah,
Volunteers. I don't know how to do CPR on a dog. Wish I could figure it out, but you probably bring some of your vet friends.
that's what I was thinking, see who I can rope into helping me.
All right, so we could talk about it again, maybe like in August, and then we could put it on the agenda again, and maybe have.
We should, yeah, try to get
Unless
a
you
date
wanna
and see
do-
what Nichols can
Yeah.
say, if they have a place for us.
Do you want me to reach out to her?
Yeah, I'd say reach
All right.
out and see if we can just start with a
Book the date?
At least get an idea,
Okay,
and then I can definitely, you know,
We can go from there.
yeah,
We'll
we
fill in
can
the
go from
pieces.
there.
All
Yeah,
right.
that would work. 'Cause it'd be fun to just do like a family, you know what I mean? Fun little CPR stuff and basic stuff.
The kids might like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Just thinking.
Anything else, Tom, on that? Heather?
No, like I said, I know that EMS is getting involved in it, and they might already have somebody certified that can help, that can give you an assist also. Or it's another way to open the door for the fire department getting,
Yeah, I'd
you
like
can
to
call the fire department for
yeah,
an animal assist, and
see what they have, even for equipment, just
Right.
basic oxygen tanks and
exactly.
things like that.
And if they don't have anything, maybe it's something they want to earmark for. Maybe some nice vet would like to donate equipment to.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
Make
mind
a-
doing that. I'd have to see what kind of oxygen
Make a
tanks they
jump kit,
have.
right.
Yeah, that way I know which ones to actually get, like masks and stuff like that.
Right.
Because that'd be easy for me to get a hold of, like the correct ones, so they would know which ones, you know, and how to use them. I mean, they're pretty easy
Right.
to use. But yeah, we could do that.
It's, like I said, I know that they're beginning to press on that,
Yeah,
and that's all Metro West right now.
yeah. Yeah,
Hearing the little duds.
yeah.
All right, so, member issue discussion. Just remember to email Amanda for our next meeting, which is what, June 17th, yeah. What? Is it?
Well, the
Oh,
Strawberry Festival that week.
yep.
Yep.
Other business. You have anything?
Yeah, before I get too much further into the Body Works facilities and finishing up the inspections to get them so we can open them. It's one thing that I get a little concerned about with the type of operation that they have. I'm wondering, is it supposed to be a leisurely type of a experience, or is it supposed to be a clinical type of experience, like
I'm
a
not sure.
like a massage parlor and all?
Right.
I mean, I've already seen what they present as the treatment table or a treatment bed with comfortable equipment that's there to make it very comfortable. And versus if you go to some other facilities, it's more of a clinical, like a doctor's office, with certain tables, certain types of tables, readily cleanable, scrubbable, non-porous, that you can sanitize between clients and all of that. And before I go back and start doing their final inspections, I want to know really what the board is really interested in. Do you want a comfort, relaxing experience, or do you want it as a clinical,
Did they
therapeutic?
describe it to you a certain way, or no? Did they pose it a certain?
I've already seen what their setups are, and I've already spoken to a couple of other contemporaries out there. And so far, I think that I won't say it's split, it's heavily towards the comfort and the pleasure and leisurely atmosphere is the presentation that most of them give. There are one or two of them that I was told that have like a doctor's exam table, and they'd either use a table or they have sheets and stuff, and it would
Right.
be more like a clinical environment.
Well, I guess it depends on what the staff is licensed to do. You know, if it's more of like a medical falling under like a chiropractic type of thing, or just a deep tissue massage. Like, I wouldn't want you to fix my spine if you weren't licensed or you didn't know how to. I guess I don't know.
Okay, and that, I mean, that's,
But does that make sense? Like,
It does. My biggest
don't-
concern is just like make sure that they're properly cleaning everything, and what are they using to clean in between clients?
well, that
still
would-
be
you know,
doing
That's
that.
like the big
Yeah.
thing.
What nature is,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's the that's the whole key between us doing our inspections, making sure that they know what the procedure is to sanitize, so that you, I mean, it's, you know, it's like the procedures there for motel operators to change the linens and do this and do that between customers or clients, or,
You had any other issues with language with them?
well, it seems to be the second biggest, that's the biggest barrier, I think, is a language issue. We had them come in, 7 of them, or, was it 7 of them, or 6 or 7 of them, Amanda? And only one was able to speak English. That became a concern.
Can you use your Google Translate?
I don't know that that's something that, I don't know, the law doesn't say, your law doesn't, your local code doesn't say they can have a cell phone and a Google
Yeah.
Translate.
Well, so I
It says
think,
somebody must be able to speak English.
right, but I think back to when we had Yummies here, and they didn't understand. And I don't think they were understanding the point of what we were asking them to fix. And then they had hired a consultant that spoke English and spoke their language, and then it was understood. So I'm wondering if there's somebody, other than a friend, someone who's gonna understand the terminology of the business part of it, and also understand what we're asking them to do.
Right, and I mean, that's really what I want to be able to do, is to find out what the operation is supposed to be. I'm not familiar with what all the different experiences that they're supposed to, that they offer. And I can't seem to get a lot of information about it. I think the next thing probably is to go beat the bushes and see if I can find somebody from either Metro West or somewhere around the Boston area that offers a similar situation. We did that with Yummies, with in the food service industry. It was, we recommended that because they had so many people working there, that everybody spoke a different dialect.
Right, yeah.
1 or 2 people understood virtually all the dialects, but the couple from Framingham, Maureen Lee and her husband, they came in and they really did straighten the mess out when we went in that time, and got the thing right, got the operation right down to basics, and then rebuilt them, and they were happy. But after a while, it deteriorated, I guess, because you went in and you saw a different thing than what
Yeah.
we did.
I guess
So I
that's what
think-
we need to figure out, what language is it that they speak, so we can figure out how to relay
Yeah,
the message.
I don't think I don't really believe that it's up to us to try to figure it all out. It's up to
Well, no,
them
but I
to
think,
be able to communicate or provide a mechanism of communication.
right. But how do we tell somebody that who doesn't understand? So, in our line of work, I don't know if it falls with yours too, we have translators at the ready. We could
we
pick up
do.
the phone, right? So,
Yeah.
but in a pinch, you can use Google Translate to say
I
something
understand
very
the
fast.
Life
So-
safety, for a life emergency, absolutely. This-
But, and I'm not saying that we need to figure it out for them. I'm thinking, what language do you speak, so I can figure out how to get that person to tell you this is what we need to do, so you could bring this guy or this gal with you to be the one to tell you this is what you're saying. Because I would hate for you to do all this work with them, and the same for them to hear what they thought you heard, and then they did it all wrong, and they have to start all over because they've been closed for quite some time.
Mhm. Well, I don't, that's why I'm kind of dragging my heels on finishing up the inspections and getting them in there, because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. The practitioners, the owners, and the Board of Health, that we're all what we expect them to do, and what they offer, and that they're all acceptable.
Do they have any kind of flyer or brochure about their?
Well, I suppose that's the next thing, is to see if there's I guess, for the sake of another term, a menu.
Yeah.
A menu and a set of directions, or what procedures they offer.
They said they had other locations outside of Boston, so.
Well, that's what I've already been trying to talk to a couple of towns, and Webster has one or two. I'm not sure that they're much better off than we are right now. I could talk to some of the Worcester and Shrewsbury and those people, those agents out that way. I've got a few contacts out there that see what they can come up with.
Yeah, we'd
And
start
we'll
with
put
that.
it on the agenda for next month, and we can talk about it then. I can I'll put together a presentation for the next meeting.
Mhm.
And once I do that, and I think that we've got a clear picture, what I had to do is I had to go through the regulations that we have and to generate some type of an inspection form or report. Here's what the rules say that you're supposed to do, so let's see how, and it was never an inspection form. You can write the rules, but if you don't have a standard inspection form to go in, a checklist, all you're doing is you're going in and reading the regs to them and regurgitating all that information. It's hard enough to do a lot of different things, but it's easier if we just provide them a checklist. Stuff like having a waiting area, posting all of their, the credentials, has to be publicly viewed. And the same with the practitioners' identifications and qualifications, the operators' qualifications and all. We have to make sure that they all have current CPR cards, they got health cards, they've got, and they should be posted like any other place
Right.
that requires licensing.
All right.
Okay, so if it's okay with the board, I'll see if I can put together a package for the next meeting
Yep.
and
For June.
try to identify a direction in which you want to go.
Sure.
You say, I don't mind doing a clinical environment, like a doctor's office. That's no big deal. We're in that trade.
Yeah.
So it's easy enough for us to do it. But I don't know that that's really what they're trying to achieve.
So sterile looking to go in for a massage. You know, I'm just
Well,
like,
exactly.
it's, I don't
Exactly.
know, but I hear what you're saying, yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. Is that all you have?
Well, I guess virtually everything else is cleared up. We haven't had any more complaints about RJ's Auto Body. I do understand that there were hard letters that came out, but I think at this point, we're trying to make sure that he didn't continue with his nuisances, his odors and all of that. He's still running his auto repair business, but he's not allowed to, and I think we made it clear the last time that he wasn't allowed to do spray painting, pretty much of any type. And then we gave him an ultimatum as well as making sure that if he was going to attempt to go back into it, he needs certification on his waste oil furnace. I've already spoken to DEP about that, and I've already spoken to him about it too. He needs a certification from the fire department and DEP to run a waste oil furnace. He falls into a certain class. It depends on how many gallons he burns in the course of a year. And then the same thing with his spray painting operation. He's not allowed to do any spray painting of any type, even small parts and stuff. And until we hear from him, he just can't do it. We're not hearing any more complaints about it, so we've achieved what we're supposed to do. Prevent the nuisance odors from emanating from the site.
Right. Has he reached out to you at all?
He was just in this morning, said he will have some paperwork so that he can be on the next meeting.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Haven't heard of that, so.
Same, all right. All right.
The food service inspection tablet, we finally got it with the new passwords and all, so we're ready to finish up and to clean up a lot of the restaurant inspections that need to be done. Other than that, I think everything else is cleared up. We've caught up everything with building and we've got Nelson running like crazy now, doing his building inspection stuff, so I think we're under control.
All right. That takes care of the business. Citizens' comments.
Good evening, I'm Patrick Hannon. Actually, I'm your health agent. So I wanted to stop by tonight. I haven't been able to get any answers from several emails I sent to the chair. So I thought I'd come by myself and make sure that you folks all got my my discrimination complaint. And we're all going to be going to court. And I'd ask you to look at the front page where it says you must preserve all information and documents that may be or lead to evidence relevant to the charge of discrimination as required by MCAD regulations. So I'd remind you about that. And then I'd remind you that back in May of '24, there was also a records notice from Ramco's attorney. So I hope that everybody's still holding all their records, text messages, all of that from May of '24. And the other reason I came is I'm trying to find out what the status of the investigation is. When will it be complete? Do you know?
Nope. Even if I did know, I'm not gonna tell you. So, I don't know, so,
Okay.
but I don't think this is the platform for us to speak about that, since it's closed for the public to know.
I don't know.
And I think you know that.
You released the information of the executive session the next morning to the public. How did that get out? There's only 3 board members.
Yeah.
How did the results of the executive session get out the next morning?
That I don't know, but that's not what we're gonna talk about tonight. So I heard about your emails today, and as far as the May 2024, whatever request you just said, I'm sure it was taken care of. That was last year.
But this applies to you folks personally.
That was 2024, that was last year.
Yeah, you folks would personally have to take care of maintaining your cell phones, your emails, your computers personally, not the front office.
She
Personally.
wasn't with us.
No,
I
I
know,
wasn't here.
I know, but
I didn't receive any.
But she's part of this discrimination lawsuit at the moment,
Okay,
so I don't
Heard you.
know where that goes, but I was put on paid leave until June 31st. Do you know when I'm coming back to work?
to answer the question that you just asked prior to that, I don't know where we are. So I have no idea.
So have you asked when the investigation would be complete?
I ask often,
Okay.
and I hear, we'll let you know when we know.
All right. Thank you
And
very much.
I think you probably know all that too, Pat.
No,
Okay.
no. So I've just been kind of kicked to the curb and staying home, so I'll take your word. You don't know anything about the investigation, and I'll wait for you to tell me. Would you please tell me when you know?
If I'm allowed to. I think
Okay.
we're supposed to talk through attorneys, so,
Okay, thank you.
welcome. Mr. Harden, did you have anything?
Just an explanation. Last meeting, I left here a little upset
Yeah.
And regarding RJ's auto body, because town council letter that went out said the next step was, it said all operations will cease and desist for the umpteenth time. You guys give the guy another chance. As of right now, I haven't smelled anything. However, his doors are open. He's doing, I believe, body work in there.
Supposed to be.
The next step, according to the town council's letter, I know you said you didn't really have a lot of background in noise complaints and odor complaints and whatnot, and I get that. But typically, if you don't have a lot of background in something, you rely on people's professional knowledge, such as Tom, and town council. Well, town
Tom
council.
wasn't with us.
Well, he is now.
Okay.
I'm just
but-
saying
but
that
we're-
you have
what-
Tom now.
yeah,
I
we're
understand
talking
that.
about, right, we had Pat, and then we had a
Correct.
lull with nobody.
So in the interim, I've been inconvenienced quite a few times. I've complained, and you're tired of hearing from me. But if you don't know something, you rely on professional knowledge. So my reading of the town council's letter, cease and desist letter, it's right there. I brought a copy if you'd like to read it. I'm not sure if the other members have been privy to it yet. Tom said he hadn't read it.
With us, yeah.
So the last meeting, I was under the understanding a new cease and desist letter was going out. So I reached out to Amanda for a copy of it, and she said that Tom was leaving the previous cease and desist letter enforced. Well, at the end of that letter, it says the next step is bringing you to court. I would like to see somebody have him take that stack down, take his spray booth out, so it can't be used. I shouldn't have to lay awake and at every moment wondering if I'm smelling stuff, as has been happening in the past 3 years, right? So I understand the frustration on everybody's part, but you spent taxpayer money to get the lawyer to send him a letter, and now you're not following what the
So like I
professionals
told,
are doing.
right, and like I told you at the last meeting, we had no agent. So I went to town council for advice, and that was his advice. And then Tom was with us.
But wasn't
So-
that the
so-
cease and desist letter?
so I explained to Tom the situation where we were. I got him up to speed on things, and I said, I want to bring you up to speed on what's going on with that. I said, this is where we left off. I would like for you to go and see him and see what you think. And when Tom went, he had a different perspective. He reached out to DEP, and they gave him this, what did they talk to you about? The waste oil furnace and all of that stuff. So the plan was a little bit different, but I don't think that was intentional for us to cause a runaround. That's not what we were doing. We had no agent, so we went with the attorney's advice. But now we have one, and we don't need to go to court. So I don't know, I know it sounds confusing. I don't know if I explained that, but
So the last time I was here also, RJ got up, he said, Michelle Demare, who did a smell test for me in the past, I know Michelle.
who's Michelle?
She's the head of the DEP. And he was saying, RJ said that she said he could spray small amounts, whatnot. Well, after that last meeting, I called her. She said no such thing to him, from what I was told by Michelle. So it's not the first time I've heard stories from him and what he's done and what he's doing. So I'm just left hoping Tom can do something now. And I appreciate your time, and I don't mean to be a pest, but I don't want to go through all summer smelling this stuff, here and there, It's just a wild,
I understand.
it's crazy, so. And that's all I have to say, so. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Thank
That's it.
you. Again, he's not spray painting there, and he's not creating a nuisance with odors. If he is, I need to know it, that's all. If there's no longer a complaint at this point, there are other operations that he can do that are not odor producing and all of that. And as long as he's not creating a nuisance with odors and noise hasn't been an issue yet. It's not like some of the other places that I've had to deal with. I've dealt with several of them with several operations with noise and odors and dust. I've got enough experience at doing that. I dealt with a sawmill, a mattress factory, a trucking terminal, and an auto body shop. And we managed to resolve the matters without putting people out of business either. Again, our job is not to do anything except achieve compliance. Make sure that there's no odors, and I can understand John and his frustration that went along with it, but sometimes with a direct approach, we can resolve the matters, explain it to the business operator that he has to do this, and show him what the codes are, and if he fails to comply, that's what all of this is for. We don't want to be going to court every time. Every time we call town council or if I have to go to court, the courts make me bring town council with me, to the tune of K&P gets $500 an hour. Okay, so to go and punish somebody or to go in just to reinforce something that the agent can do without going to court. If we achieve compliance without going to court, it becomes a win-win. If we have to go to court, we can. Unfortunately, we're looking at $500 an hour, and it's even if we call and generate a letter of direction, that's $500 an hour. If we go to the clerk of courts and I have to bring K&P with me, that's $500 an hour, plus travel time and everything else. So it's not, going to court is not a frivolous thing. You have to seriously think of it, especially in these economic times with the cities and towns. It's a lot of money that may not have to be done.
Can I just ask one more question? So this has been going on since 22. Most of you weren't here for that. Amanda was.
I was here.
Roberta, you were. We've already been through miles of, he was supposed to have a peer review done. He was supposed to do, you voted on it. You made a motion to vote on a peer review. It was up to him to pay for and figure out how he can make it comply, but he never did. So can I get an idea of, is somebody going by and checking on him, or is it, I certainly don't want to be the one to always complain about the guy. Do you go by and see if he's doing stuff?
I do, and I don't see him spraying.
I think you saw him spraying once at one of the meetings. You said, I saw you spraying too. So
Right,
this
when
was
he was here, right.
during the problem where he had a cease and desist. So,
And I have not seen him do it again.
Yeah, I drive by there.
and it's,
every day
and
at night.
again, it's not, it's spring now. It's a little cold today. Our windows aren't open quite as often yet. But if we start getting the smells and whatnot, I mean, how far do we have to go? Go
If
ahead.
you do, all you have to do is tell me.
Okay,
Tell me.
all right.
You have to report it. If you
Okay.
don't report it, I don't want you to sit there and suffer with it.
Okay.
I want you to report it, because
I
that's-
understand the point about not going to court, but I
That's
just think it's a bad spot for an auto body shop.
Right, well, we went down that road,
No,
right? He didn't do the
and he
permit,
doesn't
the
get
cur-
it.
Right, so I think what,
I'm just asking, how long do I have to expect until it reaches its conclusion to a point?
I know, it's been a long time, I understand, and we could rewind the tape again. When Camille was here, I didn't sit in this seat. I was one of them, right? So the chair is privy to the information a lot faster than the board members who she shares it with, right? So to think back to Tom and then Camille, like, I don't remember any of it. I really don't,
But I do. I live
and I know
it.
you do, because
I live
I've been
it.
here for 9 years. I know you do, right? I do. I'm just saying, like, for us now, this board here, sitting here as volunteers, trying to do the best that we can, I feel bad that it's been this long. I'm not saying if I knew more then that I could have solved the problem. That's not what I'm saying. I understand it's been long. It's been forever for you. I get it, right? But we don't know what we don't know. If somebody builds something and it never comes before us, we don't know. If you don't pull the permit like you're supposed to, then we don't know. And then you're the neighbor that tells us that it smells. So at that point, what do? What should have been the right thing that should have happened then? I don't have the answer to
He
that.
should have followed the law
I wish
and
I could
pulled the
go back, but
permit
I can't.
and got
I
an
just have to do what I
occupancy
can
permit.
right now, and I think you haven't smelled anything yet. I haven't seen anything. She says she hasn't seen anything. And once you do, you need to report it to Tom or Amanda so she could let Tom know, so we could do something. Because then I think, as Tom said, we have that, but we have that paper now. So if he's caught doing it, then I think that would be the next step.
That's where I thought we were at the previous meeting.
I think
that's
we
all.
were until we had an agent. You said it for yourself. If I don't know anything about olfactory and sound, I really don't, except in my nursing career, right? I didn't have an agent to help me. How many times we tabled things.
But the agent you had did say the same thing I'm saying.
But then he
That's-
was gone, so there was no way to read. I can't go on your word. I don't have the agent to help me to go out there to do the work. So I relied on Attorney Blake's advice. And that paper came to us, you're correct, but then the agent came. And instead of
You're
spending
giving
money.
it a try with the agent. I get it.
I did, so that's where I am. It might not be the steps that you like, but I think I wanted to try. And right now, if there's no smell, it might be working. I don't know. And if it's not, then I think that's our next step.
He also said he was gonna bring paperwork from the DEP
At the next
himself
meeting,
for
so-
us. So
Okay.
I mean, hey, I have to believe you and I have to
So
believe
is he
him,
on the
so
agenda for the next meeting?
He will.
He will be.
Because I'll be there too. I just
Alright.
want to see what he's doing. That would be great. I appreciate your time, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
Anything else, ladies? Tom? Don't go in there. You'll never come out. All right, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, meeting adjourned at 6:14.